falling star. When you make a wish, ooh, just remember luck is no such thing. One man succeeds while another man fails. Why is it then, you ask, the stars up above, the planets of light who controls your very soul, from the beginning of earth and throughout eternity, there's the stars up above. Just ask them. Ooh, just ask them. Planets of light, who controls your very soul.
Hi, this is the Starman, professional astrologer, numerologist, and host of Astrology Numerology Now, with a special edition of Astrology Numerology Now, where we're going to talk about the planet Jupiter's entrance into the sign of Scorpio. Jupiter will be entering Scorpio on October 10, 2017, and it will remain in Scorpio until November 8th, 2018. Now, what is Jupiter all about? Number one, Jupiter is the largest planet of our solar system, and Jupiter's energy is about luck, fortune, abundance, expansion, making things fuller and bigger, and bringing optimism to wherever it is in the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now, I want you to take a look at this picture. This is a picture of Jupiter. It's big and it's bright, and you see that giant red spot on it. Now, also, I want you to look at a picture of Jupiter and the planet Earth next to each other. Take a look at that. Now, you see how big Jupiter is as opposed to how big the planet Earth is. We can stick 1,000 or maybe 1,300 Earths inside of Jupiter. That's how big it is compared to little old Earth. And once again, Jupiter's job, it's the ruler of Sagittarius. In old school astrology, Jupiter co-ruled both Sagittarius and Pisces. So with the entrance of Jupiter into water sign, Pisces, is a lot of emotional feelings. It's a lot of spiritual feelings going on with the entrance of Jupiter into the sign of Scorpio. And what we're about to do is to run down the meaning and the significance of Jupiter through all 12 signs of the zodiac and all 12 rising signs of the zodiac. So we're going to talk about it specifically for each rising sign. And if you don't know your rising sign, we're going to talk about how it's going to affect you anyway. So again, let's begin. Now, let's start with Scorpio. If you have a Scorpio sun sign or a Scorpio rising sign, we're going to look at it through two ways. If you have Scorpio sun sign, or if your ascendant, first house, or rising sign begins with Scorpio, you have Jupiter in your first house, in your natal first house, or if you don't know it, Jupiter is transiting for all Scorpios and people with Scorpio rising sign. Jupiter is coming through your first house. What does that mean? Jupiter brings a sense of optimism, brings a fulfillment to your own personal being. Your spirits will be uplifted during this 1-year transit from October 10th to November 8th, 2017. It makes you feel fulfilled. It makes you feel loved and caring. And there's a sense of protection around you, because that's what Jupiter does. It protects us. It gives us divine intervention and light. Now, on the other hand, with Scorpio people, you have to be careful not to gain weight, because usually when Jupiter transits through the first house, a lot of people put on weight with this transit. But also, since Jupiter is large and it's about abundance and fulfillment, it's about not biting off more than you can chew. And also, you'll be getting a lot of work, a lot of assignments, a lot of responsibility. But the purpose of Scorpio rising and Jupiter in Scorpio, for you Scorpio sun sign people, it's about divine intervention, protection, and opportunity to expand and to grow spiritually, because Jupiter is the spiritual planet. Now, if you're a Libra, or if you have Libra rising sign, Jupiter will be transiting through your second house, your house of material wealth. And like I like to say, more money, because Jupiter is transiting through the second house. The second house is about material goods and responsibility. So those of you with Libra rising signs and Jupiter transiting through your second house, prepare for bigger bank accounts, prepare for more material things. A lot of times when the sun or Jupiter is transiting through one second house, there's increased wealth. It's a time to collect things and be materialistic, so to speak. So, and the other hand of that is if you're a Libra or if you have Libra rising sign, is be careful of your finances and how you spend money. But there's a lot of money blessings on the way with Jupiter in the second house if you're a Libra or if your rising sign is Libra, because it's transiting through the second house, the house of wealth and material fortune. If you are a Virgo, or if you have Virgo rising sign, I hope my Virgos are listening to this, Jupiter will be transiting through your third house. And the third house is the house of brothers, sisters. There'll be a spiritual connection with brothers and sisters, short distance travel. Maybe you want to take a short junket or trip. But it's also about expanding the mind for knowledge and information. A lot of people get gadgets. They get devices and new computers and new televisions and things like that. But it's about learning how to communicate. If you have Virgo rising in your astrology chart, or if we're going to look at it from a solar angle, if you're just a Virgo. You can look at it both ways, through your sun sign and through your rising sign. But if you have Virgo rising sign in your astrology chart, Jupiter transiting through the sign of Scorpio is going to be in your natal third house. Communicate, write. A lot of Virgos out there, they have stories to tell and things to write about them. Express your thoughts and your feelings on your keyboard or on your device. Communication is the key. Learning how to communicate is going to be a big thing for people with Virgo rising sign and Virgos in general as Jupiter passes through the sign of Scorpio. If you are a Leo, the fire sign Leo, Jupiter is transiting through your fourth house. And the fourth house is the house of family. Maybe some Jupiter or Leo people, or if you have Leo rising sign, I want you to pay attention to me, because we can look at this transit through two ways. Through the solar signs, and if you specifically know your rising sign. If Jupiter is transiting through your fourth house, it's a great time to buy a house. It's a great time to get a condo, because Leo rules family. It's a great time to start to reach out and touch and find and understand, regardless if you're male or female, the feminine principle inside yourself. Now, Jupiter, from an astrology point of view in the sign of Scorpio, it makes a square aspect, or it makes a 90-degree angle to planets in the sign of Leo. Or when Jupiter's in Scorpio, it's three signs. It's called a square. So that transit in the sign of Jupiter, in sign of Scorpio, being three signs away from Leo, it's going to cause friction in your family and your personal self. And a lot of Leo men will have issues with women, but get down to your inner self, understand family members. Again, it's a great time to expand your house or your household or your family and connection with women. If you are a Cancer, or if you have Cancer rising sign in your chart, Jupiter is transiting through your 5th house. Now, the 5th house is the house of children. So it's a lot of work dealing with children. A lot of Cancer people, young Cancer people, are going to be responsible for children. And a lot of children will be born during this time. I think there will be a baby boom, especially with Cancer people. But also, the 5th house rules luck, it rules speculation, and it rules love and romance. So a lot of Cancer people, now is the time, because Jupiter will be making an 120-degree aspect, or 4 signs away from Cancer. And in astrology, we call that a trine, or a triangle aspect, because it's 120 degrees apart. And again, this favors if you want to have children, luck, speculation. The 5th house also rules creativity. If you're a performing artist, like a singer, musician, actor, painter, bring out the creative juices with Jupiter being in the sign of Scorpio and making that transit through your natal 5th house. It's about creativity, it's about children, it's about luck and speculation for Cancerian people, or if you have Cancer rising sign in your astrology chart. Up next, if you're a Gemini, or if you have Gemini rising sign in your astrology chart, Jupiter is going to be making a transit through your natal 6th house. Now, if you're a Gemini and you're self-employed, you're going to be hiring lots of people to help you whatever employment that you're in, because Jupiter, again, it's about expansion, it's about growth, it's about things getting bigger, and it's about adding on more additional responsibility when it comes to workers and co-workers. A lot of them will be under your tutelage during this Jupiter transit in the sign of Scorpio. And also, Jupiter transiting through the 6th house brings awareness to health. And it brings awareness to the health principle that we have to focus on. Now is the time to, if you're a Gemini or a Gemini rising sign, it's time to focus on health and wellness and healing. But it's also, if you're a Gemini rising sign or sun sign Gemini, if you don't know your rising sign, it's about work and responsibility. And look for a lot of work to come your way with Jupiter transiting through your natal 6th house if you're a Gemini, or if you have Gemini rising sign in your astrology chart. It's about getting the work done. If you want to know more, if you want to have an astrology, numerology reading or consultation, here's how you can get in touch with me. The fastest way to get in touch with me, you have all the information on your screen, is to call 646-389-1311 for an astrology, numerology reading or consultation. Or if you want to know more in-depth information about Jupiter being in the sign of Scorpio and how it affects you, that's 646-389-1311. Those are the numbers on your screen. I'm on all the social media platforms. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram at ZStarman, and get in contact with me, and I'll talk to you about the significance of Jupiter in the sign of Scorpio as it relates to you. Up next, we're going to deal with the transit of Jupiter in Scorpio as it relates to Taurus people. If you're a Taurus, or if you have Taurus rising sign in your astrology chart, Jupiter is transiting through your 7th house. The 7th house is the house of business. Your business will get bigger. Your business opportunities will come to the forefront. Libra is the 7th house, and Jupiter transiting through people with Taurus rising, or if you're a Taurus sun sign, a lot of Taurian people will also get marriage opportunities, but it's about business. And finally, since Jupiter or the seventh house rules open enemies, you'll know during this period who's your friend and who's not your true friend. But it favors people who want, or Taurus people, or Taurus people who want to know about the law and study law, if you're thinking about doing that. Sometimes, on the other hand, there's a yin and yang to everything. Sometimes Taurus people get lawsuits because that's what the seventh house is all about. But it gives great opportunities for growth and marriage if you have Taurus rising sign. Up next is for all Aries people. Now, if you're an Aries or you have Aries rising sign, Jupiter will be transiting through your 8th house, the house of big money, big opportunities. And if you're an Aries who's looking for someone to fund your project or fund a business opportunity also, Jupiter is about luck and expansion, and it's traveling through Aries, and Aries rising sign, 8th house. It's a good fertility house too. But Jupiter in the 8th house is deep feelings, is deep emotions. Jupiter is going to be in its natural place when it's in the 8th house. So a lot of Aries people will really be digging deep down inside of them. And also, a sexual transformation will happen with most Aries people or Aries rising sign, and a lot of Aries people will finally start to come out and identify who they are from or their sexual orientation with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. So Jupiter, if you're an Aries or Aries rising sign, Jupiter is going to be transiting through your 8th house. And the 8th house, as we all know, and your seasoned astrologers, is about other people's money. Now, if you're a Pisces, or if you have Pisces rising sign, Jupiter will be in your 9th house, the house of higher mind, higher thought, higher information, expand, travel. If you're a Pisces, now it's time to see the world. But the 9th house is also about spiritual intuition and higher education. A lot of Pisces people, or those with Pisces rising sign, may opt to go to school to increase their knowledge and wisdom. But it's about visiting other countries, other places, taking long distance trips and journeys if you're a Pisces sign, but really, really connecting with your spiritual side, because Jupiter rules the 9th house. And if you have Pisces rising sign, or a Pisces solar sign, don't know your rising sign, Jupiter is going to be transiting through your 9th house, which is Pisces' natural house. Up next is the sign of Aquarius. And if you have Aquarius rising sign, or a sun sign in Aquarius, or Aquarius rising sign, Jupiter is going to be in your 10th house. A lot of expansion when it comes to your career. The 10th house is about career. So a lot of expansion when it comes to your career, your public image, a lot more work for you, a lot to work on when it comes to dealing with superiors. Because the 10th house is about public image and public standing and how you deal with other people. And Jupiter is going to make a square to, or that 90-degree angle to Aquarius while it's in Scorpio. So try not to do things that will give you bad press or bad negativity. But during this period, you will be brought out before the world and enjoy your glory. But the main thing, Jupiter's transiting through the 10th house. Your public image will increase and grow. And be careful of how you look, how you act, how you talk in public. If you're an Aquarius or Aquarius rising, you're about to become famous. Up next is Jupiter if you're a Capricorn. If you're a Capricorn or you have Capricorn rising, Jupiter is transiting through your 11th house. The 11th house is the house of dreams and big ideals and big wishes. A lot of friends growing. You'll be connected with a lot of associations. Different groups of people will want to talk to you if you're a Capricorn, because it'll expand your friends. You'll be able to get more help with friends. But it's about hopes, wishes, dreams, desires, and ideals. Put it out into the universe. Your relationship with friends. Put it out into the universe, because that's what Jupiter does. It expands things. It makes things bigger. And whatever your dreams, hopes, wishes, and desires are, meditate, transform, and make it happen. Bring it to fruition, Capricorn. Jupiter is in your 11th house. But last but not least, we have the sign of Sagittarius. And if you're a Sagittarius, or if you have Sagittarius rising, Jupiter is going to be making that transit through your 12th house. Now, in the 12th house, it's about the house of hidden things. It's about secrets. It's about consciousness. It's about being alone. A lot of, since Jupiter was the co-ruler of Pisces, or is the co-ruler of Pisces, Jupiter works very well in the 12th house. But it also makes the 12th house native, or Sagittarius rising, feel the need to be alone, to be by themselves, to really tap into their dreams. Because the 12th house is about dreams. Listen to your dreams during this 1 year transit, Sagittarius. And that's where you'll be getting a lot of information, messages, and thoughts that the spirit world is trying to get in touch with you through your dreams, with Jupiter transiting through your 12th house in the sign of Scorpio. That's about all the time that we have for Astrology Numerology Now. I want to thank my producer and director, Dietrich Kelsey, for producing this episode, special edition of Astrology Numerology Now. If you want more information about the transit of Scorpio through the sign of, or the transit of Jupiter through the sign of Scorpio, feel free to contact me at the number you're about to see on the screen. Happy transit of Jupiter and Scorpio. This is Z Starman wishing you peace, love, light. Namaste.
That's the stars up above.
Just ask them.
Ooh,
Just ask them.
planets of light. Who controls your very soul? Ask them why you is so sound and practical. Yet Gemini, so inconsistent. Ooh, let me tell you a secret I know. Known the world over. Is controlled by the stars.
Just ask them.
Ooh, the planet of